All right.
Yep.
Welcome back to another episode of The Forge, where 2 enter, 1 leaves champion, and 1 leaves beaten, battered, and bruised. We bring in today 2 top-level tournament players. We have, in fact, 2 players from the same team from A1. My prediction is, after this game, one of them will no longer be on A1, because they will not be able to deal with the bitterness and the jealousy that comes with losing the Forge. So we have Zwaxor, our winner last week, coming back to reclaim his throne and fend off any challengers. And challenging him today is 1/8 of a world champion, GottabeKD, or as he claims GottabeKid, but just didn't spell his name correctly apparently. So who will win today? We shall see. All right, so we have Zwaxor here, running an NT list, a fairly interesting NT list, not sort of your daddy's old NT list with static shocks and such. What do you think of this list, Jake? It's pretty light on spells.
It's actually very light on spells, but I think, well, and he does have the Predators. The upside is that I think Burnout actually made Predator a little bit better, because Burnout is almost always going to be able to come down opposite of Predator and grow it, right?
Sure.
So I like that synergy. I like it overall. Cinderbound Barbarian is a guy who's been growing on me lately. A lot of more people are playing him. You know, he's actually pretty solid. And there's that Frostfang main that you've just been loving lately. You want to talk about her?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. That card.
Yeah, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
That card doesn't look any good just because.
I'm pretty sure you play that card all the time.
All of your awesome guys can move into lanes and trade with Broodfangs. Why would you want to do that? That doesn't seem good. Yeah, so I really like Frostmane Dragon. I feel like he is the anti-Brood Queen card. There's a lot of ways to use him for that role. But the fact that he has move 2, you can drop him in the middle. Anywhere they put a Brood Queen, if you're playing any number of cards, they combo with him to kill Brood Queen. Whether that be Frostfang Maiden, any sort of spell package. So many cards combo with him. And then he drops another guy behind, a la the Brood Queen. So I feel like he's situated really, really well right now. And of course, Doom Rider is just amazing. Direhound's amazing. I really like Spite Mage. I feel like in a metagame where there's Aetherphages, Spite Mage is a great removal card. What do you think about that?
You're really out on a limb there. Spite Mage, good card.
Exactly,
wow.
I know.
What
I think is really interesting about this list is that it runs Predator and very little removal spells. It seems like he's really going to be using things like, you move in front of something, Frostfang Maiden drops at 3, then on level 2 you drop your Barbarian, drop that guy another 6. Suddenly, without spells, you've dropped the guy 9, which is enough to kill him and grow your Predator. I think it's a really clever way to use Predator and get around the spell problem that exists right now with Aetherphage in the meta.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And the limited spells that he does have, I count 4. I'm not counting the Epidemics here. The Epidemics are sort of just their own thing. But the 2 Call of the Weeks and the 2 Burnouts will, when he plays them, pretty much guaranteed kill whatever they're hitting. Right? Cull always kills. Burnout will generally always kill. So combined with the Predator movement, the spells that he does have are actually very effective at growing one.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing this deck. I think it could be quite strong. I'm wondering, there's a lot of decks like this that are strong that good Brood Queen players are still beating. So I'm very interested to see if GottabeKD brought Brood Queen, and if he did, can he beat it? So let's move on to his deck. And he did bring Brood Queen.
Da-da-dum.
All right. And this, let's see, how close is this to his magical list that he won with? I think it's quite a bit different, actually. I mean, he's still got Nether Shriek, Deathweaver, Varna's Pact, sort of the typical, I call it the max variance package, but it's really, in addition to max variance, it's max power. If you get things to go your way, it's extremely powerful. But he's added there 2 Tangles, almost as if he's been testing against Zwaxor, and he's now ready to completely undermine his whole plan. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, yeah, he's prepped for for some NT movement guys, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. Poor Zwaxor. He's like, what? Why would you do me like that, man? This is what I'm talking about. Hard feelings, and one of them off the team for sure. All right.
Yeah, he's going to do his best.
Not too much else to say about the list. It's a very typical, standard, max variance, max power Brood Queen list with 2 Tangles. So I say we bring these guys in. What do you think, Jake?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Zwaxor. Welcome back, defending champion, ruler of the Forge. How are you doing today?
I am doing quite good, thanks.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. And so what's going on with this list? You've got Predator and no spells. Have you lost your mind?
I hope not. But it was actually sort of Stoutmeister from A1 who posted the list originally. We were like, Stoutmeister, we hate the meta. Go brew something. And this is basically what he came up with.
Fair enough. Stoutmeister is definitely a great source of new decks and innovation.
Yeah, it was an NT deck, so naturally I caught onto it. And it feels really good. Like its Brood Queen matchup is maybe 50-50, maybe slightly worse, but it's really good against basically everything else. So
against 4% of the metagame, it's awesome, and against 96% of the metagame, it's slightly less than 50-50.
It really depends who's playing it. Like I feel like I can maybe push it to 55.
Yeah.
It's also just an effort to not play Brood Queen 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, I understand that. I've got a bunch of lists like that right now that I'm working on that beat most of the meta, and actually beat Brood Queen about 80%, unless the Brood Queen player is really good, and then it's like 45%.
Yeah, that's often the thing with that.
All right, so why don't you talk a little bit about how this interaction works? So you have Predator, you have very few spells. Are you relying on things like Barbarian to take the place of a spell and Maiden to take the place of a spell, or do you have other sorts of tricks up your sleeve?
Well, generally you rely on either your Predator just being bigger than whatever they have, works well against underdrops and stuff where you enter player level 2 with Predator 2s in your hand and they have a bunch of level 1 guys lying around. He just grows automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he just eats up like Lotuses and stuff like that. And you have like Dire Hounds and Maidens to synergize with him, as well as Cull.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that hard to trigger him generally.
Cool. And then is Spite Mage in there just because she seems like an amazing answer to the metagame right now?
Yeah, Spite Mage just has to be there. Like it's the reason for playing NT over NU at this point. That and Frostmane Dragon, which I've had a lot of fun with. Like the best feeling ever is just like passing the turn on 2.4 with just like 3 level 2 dragons on the board.
Yes, that's pretty strong. I found in those kind of games, I had one game where I had 3 eggs pop, and I think my opponent went like Deathweaver 3, Pack 3, and smoked me. But aside from that situation, it's usually pretty darn powerful.
It usually is.
All right, well, how do you think you're going to do today against the Brood Queen player? Not only the Brood Queen player. I don't know if you knew this, Waxor. You probably didn't. This guy is 1/8 of a world champion.
Well, thanks for rubbing it in, sir.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. You might have lost in the finals against him.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you have a personal vendetta against KD, I must have double that because I lost to him twice in that tournament. One of them was the finals.
Oh, yeah. That's hard.
But yeah, I was not expecting him to play 2 Tangles. That sort of that kind of ruins my whole plan.
Yeah, that seems kind of rude.
And crossing my fingers.
He's like, what's the one thing that maybe gives me any sort of trouble? Oh, dragons and movement? Yeah, I'll handle that.
Yeah, like if I lose today, I'm probably just going back to playing Brood Queen.
I think everyone is back to playing Brood Queen anyway, but I hope you smoke him so that it convinces like 2 people out there, oh, Brood Queen's not that good anymore.
Yeah, well, I convince them, and then they start playing other decks, and then people with Brood Queen just start beating them, and they don't have fun anymore. So I don't actually hope that happens.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not positive.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's move on to our... Well, actually, did you predict how many games you were going to let GottabeKD win? Is it 0 or is it 1?
Probably 1 or 2. I don't think I'll be able to 3-0 today.
Okay, that's unfortunate. I'll be rooting for 3-0. All right, let's
It's all
bring in
that, but seeing 2 Tangles.
bring in our challenger, who's he's just I don't know, he's just a bad person. I mean, he beat me in the tournament. I was undefeated at that point. He skill shrieked me. I will never get over that. How you doing, man? My mortal enemy and rival.
Not bad, not bad. How you doing, Tiny?
I was doing fine until you spoke.
Yeah, I see that I'm 2 weeks into Soulforge and I'm already 1/8 of a world champion, and I have an arch nemesis. So
That's
good.
right. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good start to Soulforge.
Yeah, 2 tournaments.
So I see you got a Brood Queen deck. Nothing too shocking there. Brood Queen's good. What's with the Tangle though? Did you do a lot of testing internally and decide Tangle was a good answer? Did you come up with that from the constructed queue? What made you think the meta's shifting a little bit towards move stuff right now?
It really has. I've seen a lot. Like a lot of people in the queues are putting explosive on gargoyles, that kind of stuff. And honestly, I just wanted Zwaxor to see it in my list, and maybe he won't play anything that moves, and then I never have to play Tangle, and everything's good.
Oh, so he won't play any guys?
Well, I noticed that he doesn't want to play me in a mirror match again this week, so.
It's a smart move. I mean, especially if he's not going to play the high variance, high power version, because that's kind of dicey. If you go the other way, if you get the stuff, he's in trouble. So I do want to ask you about that. So how has this package of Nether Shriek and Pact been working out for you? Have you found that you're generally hitting with the Nether Shriek, or are you doing a lot of hoping?
This week, probably my list has probably changed maybe 5 or 6 times. Nephrex made its way in there. Nether Shriek left. Calls came in. The one thing I quickly learned is that in the mirror match, you can't afford to play just a spell. You can't just call their Brood Queen, because then they leveled a Brood Queen and you leveled a spell, and then you're hoping the rest of the game that it lines up that way. So if you're going to play a kill spell, you have to play something that gives you a little bit of board presence. So Nether Shriek is back in the deck. And as far as Pact goes, I found that even if my opponent hits Tarsus 3, Pact 3, and on Pact 3 he gets 3 little Brood Fangs, like they can still just win the game because of Tarsus 3. So
yeah, I agree. I've actually been playing Pact more, not in a Brood Queen deck, but I have another deck that I'm working on that I stuck 3 packs into, and it's the turns you can get are just disgusting. Like I've even had like Deathweaver 2, 3 level 1 guys, and they're all decent, and I win the game off of it, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, so. For me, it's like it's an upgraded Stygian Lotus. Like Lotus is in the deck because it's Utera, and these Brood Queen decks struggle to get enough to trigger the Allied, but But if I have my choice versus Lotus or a Pact in player level 2, player level 3, I'm always going to play a Pact. So.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with that. All right, so are you going to let Zwaxor win any games this week since he has teammates?
I don't know. It depends on how scared of Tangle he is. So if he's really scared of Tangle, I might 3-0 him. If he's not that scared of Tangle, yeah, I'll take him to 5, give everybody a show.
Whoa, you're going to let him have 2 wins. Wow, that's really generous of you.
Yeah, well, in the last time him and I played in on a stream match, I let him feel like he was winning. It's good for the team.
It's also exciting to let him seem like he's winning and then come back and blow him out.
Exactly. Pack 2, bring back 2 Dire Hounds, and game over.
Yeah, exactly. You planned that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, Jake, who do you think is going to win this week? Is it going to be our reigning NT champion, or is it going to be this upstart who nobody has heard of since he's only 1/8 of a world champion?
What do you think I'm going to say, Tiny Grimes?
I think you're going to pick Zwaxor foolishly. I think Zwaxor is going to get pounded into the ground.
Of course I'm picking Zwaxor.
Yeah. I actually thought...
Necronym Tempest is my home, so, I support it all the way. It's a shame that there's Tangle sitting over there on the other side. That sucks big time. But what are you going to do?
All right, so how many games do you think Zwaxor is going to win in? What's going to be the score?
4-1.
4-1. Since
Yep.
we play best of 5? So you're going to pick 3-1?
No, 4-1.
4-1, okay. I was all set to pick Zwaxor. I really like his list.
That's nice. I already got him.
And then I saw Tangles, and I went, wait, what? Tangles? There's no way he beats Tangle. So if Zwaxor wins this one, I mean, I already have a lot of respect for Zwaxor, but if he wins this one, he's going to be way up on my list of guys that I fear. So, yeah, I don't think he can beat 2 Tangles. I'm going to say 3-0, he gets swept.
All right, bring it.
All right.
I think you're making a very silly mistake. You're literally betting all your marbles on Tangle.
Yep, I sure am.
You might not even see a Tangle.
I invested my marbles in Tangled, and it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm actually rooting for Zwaxor. I want that list to show off and look really good. But you know, I got to be realistic here. I think Tangled really undoes that. I'm not sure Tangled is a great choice for the metagame. I'll have to think about that. But I do know that it's a real good choice for this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a strong card here. But at the same time, it's just one unmitigated removal spell when it comes down to it. You know, there was a long time where Dreadbolt could kill absolutely anything, and you still didn't win just by having Dreadbolts.
You know what? Dreadbolt wasn't soft level gated though.
That's true.
That's it. That's why I think Tangled is such a terrifying card. Being soft level gated is so strong. He's got it right in his opening hand. Oh my god.
That's the worst space to have it.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he'll go. Although, like what you want to do is go Frost. The dragon in lane 3. That's like Zwaxor's dream start. Dragon lane 3. Move on.
It's true.
He doesn't have
Dragon
it though.
does
So
work.
does he? It'll be interesting. Does he play the Predator or does he play one of these maidens so that stuff can move? I think he plays Predator. It's like his money, his bread and butter card. All right, so the question is, does he even Tangle? Like, it's soft level gated, so it's not like Dreadbolt where he had to be like, oh, I've got it. I don't want to play it. I have to.
I see no reason why he would play Tangle here, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he could go Etherphage and then Dire Hound to put it in the graveyard to be able to bring back stuff with Varna's Pact. Like, he'd have 2 Dire Hounds and a Predator in the graveyard when the Dire Hound dies. That could be really strong. He's going to pull Burnout.
They really need to fix Dire Hound, by the way, on that note.
It's not going to be fixed for some time. That's just
I know.
feature.
I mean, of course. I'm just saying, it's rather silly. It actually completely defies the entire concept of the mechanic, removing it after playing it once, right? Like,
well, it removes it from your deck, right? So
yeah, I know.
the way
It's
I'm
just that
thinking
Hound's
of it.
coming back all game, so.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's how I have to just put it in my mind. So this is
Yeah.
why I kind of like playing Hound last time. He could have gone like Deathweaver into Varna's Pact and had a really, really strong Varna's Pact. He could still go Deathweaver Pact and bring back a Predator, though. And I think I would consider that. He wants to play Doom Rider, though, so after Etherphage dies, it comes over and finishes him off.
He comes over, finishes him off, yeah. I am kind of surprised that he chose to Tangle over the Dire Hound, though. Because it's soft level gated, like, you can have it one level behind the game, and it works perfectly.
I'm very surprised by that as well. I wonder if it was a situation where he actually wanted to leave the Dire Hounds in the deck. I don't really know what exactly he was thinking there.
Maybe, but that seems to be opposite from what most people try and do with their Dire Hounds, because they're playing Varna's Pact anyways. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like when you have Pact, you want to kill the Dire Hounds quick early. If you don't, you want to leave them in the deck. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Alright, so Dragon gets the egg off.
So if he wanted to, he could have just moved over and then Epidemicked to kill him. But I mean, it's not like it's a Brood Queen. If it was a Brood Queen, he'd probably do that.
Yeah, but it's just a Tarsus.
Yeah, he can probably get away with leaving him on the board. I think I would have put the egg in front of the Doom Rider, but that's just me.
You think so, eh? Interesting.
Just to soak up the damage this turn, because now he's going to take 5.
5, yeah.
I guess he's trying to pop the egg, and I guess I wasn't really looking at it. The egg should actually make it through, so I think that...
It's only one turn, so unless it dies right now, which would be quite the feat, it would need, like, Hound something, and that's just not worth it, I think.
Right. I think I like Pact plus Brood Queen this turn. You can go Pact in 3, it will be a Predator.
It will be large,
Actually, it could be a Dire Hound too, right? Didn't somebody play one? Or no?
No, he passed on playing one.
Okay. I was thinking his opponent maybe, but no one's played one. I'm just
No.
out of my mind right now.
You're gone totally crazy.
We've gone loco! Alright, so now he's got, pretty reasonable board. And Zwaxor's got to come up with something here.
Well, he does come up with double dragon pops.
The nice thing for Zwaxor, since he's not playing Varna's Pact, he should never pass on an egg. Even if he wants to overwrite it, just drop it down and keep dropping eggs down.
Get those eggs clogging the graveyard.
Yeah, and so now he's in a tough spot. Does he Spite Mage in front of that Brood Queen? Does he not even care because we're going into player 2? He hasn't really grown anything out of control. Or is he just going to try to level the right card? And what card is that? It might even be Spite Mage.
Well, I don't think he should overwrite that. I think he wants the free dragon.
Yeah, I think so too. The problem is there's not really a spot to put Spite Mage. So maybe it's just call the Brood Queen.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking. Is maybe you just call the Brood Queen.
Yeah, I haven't played this exact matchup to know well enough if that's the right call. I mean, his opponent's not playing Devourer, so that makes me feel a little better. He is playing Predator, who's annoying, but Devourer is the guy that can really grow out of control fast. Predator goes out of control much more slowly.
I think I like this too, because Cull really isn't the card that you want to level.
Yeah.
So exactly. I think you just let your opponent have the kill on a dragon, and just get another creature down.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. They're under-leveled cards. Alright. I didn't see the
There are
card.
also cards that didn't even take you a card to put on the board, so...
Okay, so he's got another Brood Queen. He's going to Skill Shriek to kill the maiden.
Skill Shriek, kill the maiden. Sacrifice, take a dragon off in front of the Brood Queen.
That's not too shabby.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a full board staring down almost nothing, right? So.
Yeah, and that's pretty much Brood Queen way.
Yeah, that's sort of how they do.
Yeah, and he hasn't played
Tangled.
Tangled
See, though. Zwaxor has a nice hand, a nice 2.1.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if that can carry him through here. I think I killed the dragon in 2. Okay, so he kills the one in 5. Interesting.
Okay, I mean, it keeps Deathweaver alive, but...
I mean, the Deathweaver with 2 health, though, is definitely going to die to anything and everything, but...
Yeah, Predator's going to come down in lane 2 and eat that Brood Queen for free growth.
He sure is. And then Doom Rider will finish off the Nether Shriek. This is actually a really, really strong turn by him.
Well, that's what I was saying. Was his 2.1 here is really good opening and takes back the board entirely.
Yeah, gotta be.
That Brood Queen at 1 is just Predator fodder at this point.
And gotta be whiffed. Lotus does not look good here with Predators on the board. You're
staring down Predator and Doom Rider. No.
Oh boy, he really has nothing. You know what card looks the best out of his whole hand? The Offspring from the Brood Queen. Because it puts a little poison on that Doom Rider. Like, that's the card I would be most excited about that I have in my hand. I can poison the Doom Rider. Yes. There you go. And he does it. And he's not going to be able to, actually, because his opponent can play now the Barbarian, the underleveled card we talked about. Like, he has a terrible hand, but that Barbarian actually completely saves his Doom Rider and makes it so he takes no damage. It works out beautifully. Trying to figure out where to put this Predator. Oh, I think he's going to kill the Nether Shriek. Okay, good, he's not.
He's going to kill it with the Predator, yeah.
That'll be kind of insane.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He is in great shape.
Yeah, and there's no Tangle in sight on the other side.
No Tangle, no good cards for that matter.
Yeah.
He could go like Aetherphage Roar, which would wipe out everything except for the giant Predator.
Except for the monstrously huge Predator, yeah.
I mean, he could go like Direhound to try to minimize that Predator. That Predator is going to be a real problem until he finds a Brood Queen 2.
Well, and see, here's the thing. Brood Queen 2 can kill it, but Zwaxor is always going to have a chance to kill it, whether it's with leveled Spite Mages, Culls, whatever.
But also Tangle takes him out. So.
But that's the thing. He's got 2 cards in his whole deck that can handle that Predator. His creatures, not a chance.
Yeah, this is definitely a really hard spot for him. I'm not even sure what the right play is. I'd be very tempted to go Aetherphage Roar and just get a reasonable board. Oh wow, that was a really good play for him. Holy cow! Putting some poison on him is pretty big.
Yeah, poison will help. Start wearing them down. At the same time, though, it's going to grow them more than it's going to...
I think I kind of like Direhound 3 hitting the Predator, reduce him even more. Makes it so the poison is a little bit more important.
yeah.
Roar would have been nice, but I don't think Roar was enough. Oh, he's hit.
Yeah, he's going to take the Doom Rider off. I think I actually kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
he leaves the Predator there, then he can retake the entire board just with the Tangle drop.
Yep. I think I agree with that. It's going to really come down to what Zwaxor can respond with. And thankfully for GottabeKD, Zwaxor can't respond strongly. He's got some stuff, but nothing major here.
Yeah, he got some business, but...
Alright, he's going to play an Ebon Skull despite being kind of late in the player level. I mean, it's a tough choice because he doesn't really
got to
want to
turn into attack.
Putting Direhound in the graveyard against Pact is always dicey. It doesn't gain him that much. I imagine he's playing the Maiden, and he's trying to figure out what that second card is.
Well, yeah, I imagine the Maiden's going in the... Yeah.
Yep.
For sure, definitely the Maiden, and he goes with the Ebon Skull, which I think is fine. He's got to turn to attack. It gets him leveled, the big guy.
So here's GottabeKD, got all his cards. So he's like, what? What am I supposed to do here? I think he has to play Deathweaver, and then play Brood Queen and stick... Oh, he doesn't have the drop. Oh my god.
No, there's no Brood Fang here.
Because if he has the drop, it puts a ton of poison on the Predator. And
He could put a lot of... He could put 6 more poison on the Predator. It would go down.
That is the worst. Oh, poor guy. If he wasn't my arch nemesis, I'd feel bad for him. What's he gonna do here? He's in a really tough bind.
Even putting the Deathweaver in front of the Predator doesn't get it down with the poison because it'll grow. Take another big hit. So, I mean, he could Brood Queen and then go for the Skill Shriek. He could fill the empty lanes with Brood... Oh, no, rather, it's only one. He could fill one of the empty lanes. And then Skill Shriek.
Oh, he's passing on Brood Queen. Oh, my goodness.
Well, he doesn't get the drop anyway.
I think he loses this one. Unless Zwaxor draws really badly at the start of level 3.
I disagree with his sequencing there. I'm not sure why he played the Deathweaver before he played the Nether Shriek.
Well, he wanted the Nether Shriek to be bigger.
Well, I realize that, but I think he needed to just take the shot at hitting the Predator.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that.
Taking way too much damage.
Yeah. I don't think he can survive this one now. He did get 2 tangled, so...
He's got his tangled.
But
that's exactly what my point is.
Enough.
Tangled is just not, quite possibly not going to be enough because it's only 2 cards in your whole deck.
He can Direhound, kill somebody, tangled, and now it's just one-on-one. So it really comes down to Zwaxor's 3.1 draw now. At least GottabeKD sort of got to there, right? Like, okay, if you don't draw well here, I'm fine. And then he goes Predator 3.
Yeah.
But
the double Maiden down.
But his opponent has the Tangle 3 for the Predator. Like, it looked like it was ball game. And he responds with Tangle 3 plus Brood Queen.
Does that actually save him at all?
I mean, it saves him a little. It makes it so that if Zwaxor whiffs on 3.2, he has a chance. There we go.
Yeah, but I mean...
Oh, look, it healed him a bunch. How does that card work?
Does it do that?
It healed him 13.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's the downside of not reading bad cards. I didn't remember to do that.
Oh my god, he's going to play the 3rd Frostbane and then move over and just obliterate that Brood Queen.
Yep, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the Tangled is not enough here.
Yeah, the Tangled's kind of feeling like a trap card, actually. That deck wants to play guys. It doesn't want to just...
He doesn't want to play spells.
Though I got to say, I mean,
clearly,
really...
it saved him, and I think it's a good card to have in this matchup.
Yeah.
To have access to it.
But I don't
think it's a deal breaker. I don't think it's a game breaker.
He got owned in 2.1 though. Like, his opponent had an amazing 2.1 and GottabeKD whiffed for all of 2 until right at the end. So I feel like this is one of those games where we can't really count it to figure out this matchup, but it's interesting. It looks like
you could say that, but you can also say that that's exactly what we said going into it, was just that. Yeah. It's going to be I don't know. My point is just the Tangled is not a deal breaker here, and NT has this.
Sure. Does he have lethal here? He does with burn.
Oh, he's got lethal. He's got lethal.
All right, so that's it. Zwaxor's up 1-0.
Boom.
I believe I said
On our way to the
Zwaxor
4-1.
would get at least a game.
I don't believe you said that. I believe you predicted 3-0.
Pretty sure you're an idiot. You didn't listen to me well. That's not my fault. After this event, actually, we're going to do giveaways, and we are also going to take questions. So we're going to have like a 10-minute period after the game where we take some questions and do some giveaways. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Alrighty. So, I feel like, I was about to say, what kind of adjustments are we going to see here? I don't think it's an adjustment game. I think it's a GottabeKD tries to draw reasonably well and then sees where it goes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
There we go.
there's also, it's really not a lot you can do to try harder to draw well.
That's the
You
play
sort of just get
Zwaxor
the
wanted
cards
to
that you're
make.
given.
That is Zwaxor's bread and butter play. Dragon, lane 3,
Boom.
go.
Play a Brood Queen. He dares you.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually one of my favorite opening plays in the whole game now.
Yep, definitely.
You know, I have a funny anecdote about that. You remember what happened when Frostbane Dragon came out originally?
And I spoiled it?
And I wasn't there for the spoiler. I mean, after, when I said, hey, this new dragon looks cool, and you're like, yeah, I don't think he's very good.
Yeah, I did say
Yeah.
that. I wasn't all that excited by him. And to be honest, if Brood Queen hadn't become such a dominant archetype, I don't think he's as good. Like, he's useful, but I think Brood Queen makes him infinitely better. 'Cause you
All
need
right,
to
as
have an answer.
long as we know that you thought he was bad, and he's not.
I would say bad. I was a little disappointed with him. But he's clearly not been a disappointment.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
Alright, so I think you put Brood Queen in front of the egg. Put your
Sure.
drop in front of the dragon, and then Skill Shriek. And, you know, get a 50-50 shot at getting whatever you want. Either one's fine. This is where Skill Shriek is really good, is when it's not a
When
luck
you
shot.
have control. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you have control over the board, Nether Drake is just amazing.
Yeah, he goes from Skill Shriek to awesome.
To GG card, yeah.
GG Shriek, I like that. Goes
Yeah.
from Skill Shriek to GG Shriek.
GG Shriek. It's true.
Alright, so he grew his Doom Rider.
So I like that he forced him to cull there by putting the Brood Queen in front of the Frostbane egg, too.
I agree.
That is a very good thing to be doing. If you're Tiny Grimes, you actually do it the opposite way.
Put the
I
egg
put
in front
Brood
of the
Queens
Brood Queen.
down, and then he put eggs in front of my Brood Queens.
Yep, you gotta protect them eggs.
Yeah.
It's fragile cargo in there. Alright, so that's a good play. He's threatening to eat the egg. Well, I guess he's not, because it's gonna pop here. Is he gonna Cinder Bar? No, we're not able to yet. What is he gonna do here? I guess Epidemic looks pretty good. Lets the Doom Rider live and grow. Putting down a Predator would have been good, though. Kind of surprised he didn't get one down there.
Yeah, Predator did some good work for him. It is also kind of vulnerable to those Tangled draws if
So
he does
is he
hit
gonna
them.
go here, Brood Queen into Nether Shriek to end the player level? Is he gonna Pact? He hasn't Pacted yet. No. He would have a 50-50 shot on that Nether Shriek. If he puts the drop in front of the Doom Rider, it's going to kill him slowly anyway. So this is where I struggle with Nether Shriek, is when you get in spots like this. Do you go for the luck shot, or do you go for the skill play? And I
Yeah.
always like to go for the skill play, and it makes me hesitant to run Nether Shriek.
When you can find the skill play. I mean.
Hey, whoa, look out, sir. I think I would probably have played Brood Queen and Varna's Pact as my play.
That's interesting.
Okay, so he's going to probably put the Offspring in front of Doom Rider.
I would think so, yeah.
Alright. Another decent level 2. The problem is one of them is a Cull. And he's not all that excited about level
Well,
2
he's just not going to play it. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm just
It's
saying, like,
2.1.
when you...
A
That's
decent creature that's still level 1 is totally fine.
Right, but that's the downside of leveling Cull, right? Is that you get one of your level 2s right away, and you're like, yes! Oh, it's Cull.
It's that one.
Ooh, what are the cards? Oh, how's he not playing Deathweaver Pact? He's playing Deathweaver Pact. He just picked the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, and a Brood Queen. Does he get the Offspring also? He does.
Does.
Oh, wow.
I actually knew that he does, but
That
yeah, he does.
That is really good. The second Frostfang Maiden, though, that does interesting things. Okay, never mind. He can blow him up. Let's see, is he going to do it? Eats him. It's -6, I believe, which lets him trade for the dragon if he wants. Lets him just eat the Deathweaver.
Yeah, Spite Mage comes down.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's actually really nice. It's only the level 1 Brood Queen left. Yeah, it's a buffed up one, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
And now he's got the big Predator going.
Yep, and there's no Nether Shriek issues to worry about. Even if he fills the board, what does he have, like 1 level 2 Nether Shriek in his deck? It's not too worrisome.
Yeah.
Is he going to Dire Hound here just to sort of get a handle on that Predator? Or is he just going to ignore the Predator? Nope, he's going to ignore him. He's going to fill lanes.
Ignore.
And ignore the Predator. Alright. Let's see. If Zwaxor has a big hand here, this is going to be trouble. And he's got a pretty good hand.
It's not a bad hand at all.
So he's going to play Doomrider, that means. Oh, interesting. Okay. I thought he was playing Doomrider to finish off the Brood Queen. But he's not. It's interesting that he's willing to take that damage on the Doomrider.
It's only 4. It's not the end of the world.
Alright, so he's going to go Brood Queen. Probably put the Offspring in front of the Predator again. Try to just put some poison on him.
He's actually going to get the poison on it this time. And it will be 4, right? Yeah, 4 poisons. So that's
it'll
not
be
the end of
more
the
than
world.
that because of the Deathweaver.
Oh, it's a level 2 Brood Queen. Yeah, okay. It'll be 6.
Then do you Roar here? Like, that's kind of tempting to put 8 poison on him.
That's not bad. You also get a buff Brood Queen out of the deal.
I mean, you could also Doomrider, which would reduce them all as well.
No, he goes for the Roar. I like that. I think that's
I
pretty
do
good.
too. Man, that is a big, big Predator. Oh, man, he gets the immediate response of the Spite Mage. Just... Oh, and the crushing Ebon Skull, which doesn't really matter because he's dying anyway.
Well, he levels a nice big creature, though. And,
exactly. But if this was, like, player level 1, that play would have been huge.
Oh, that would be incredible, yeah.
I mean, it's nice anyways growing the Doomrider. Oh, and his opponent finally has a good end to the player level. Poisoning the Doomrider is even better because it's not going to be able to move around. It's going to take 8 on it.
Yeah, I mean, those Brood Fangs are doing good work. He's keeping up on the board this time because he's drawing his Brood Queens.
Yeah, they're really huge here.
Turns out that's kind of just a card that matters a lot. So,
Yes.
what can you do, eh?
That does turn out to be the case. Interesting. He went for that over, say, an Epidemic, which would allow him to kill the Brood Queen, or a Dire Hound would. He really...
Yeah, but I don't think either of those plays really does anything.
I don't either. I'm just...
Like, the Brood Queen is going to live through the turn no matter what he plays. And he's going to kill it next turn, so...
This is an interesting play. I kind of like Doomrider plus Invoker, just to grow the Doomrider. Then you blow up the Invoker, grow the Doomrider again. I think that's the play I would have gone with. And then it gives you a really, really big Doomrider. I mean, he still has a really big one that a Spite Mage 3 can kill anyway. So maybe his thought process is I don't have to go even more all in on it. I'm all in enough here. Double Barbarian on it. Really.
I mean, you have a really
damage
bad
done.
hand. You have a really bad hand. What are you going to do? You play your underdrops that are solid.
Oh, and here we
knock that
go.
thing down.
The high variance, high power edition. Deathweaver Pack 3.
Oh, baby.
This could just end the game right here if it's something amazing. Luckily, there's not that much amazing stuff in the dead pile. And yeah, he kind of whiffed.
Well, I wouldn't even say so, to be honest. Those Brood Fangs are lethal to anyone that goes in front of them.
It's an interesting play. I don't know that I like Evan's skull there. I mean, I guess his theory is he desperately wanted to kill him. If he played the maiden there, that he wasn't going to level it, and he didn't want to burn him out. So I guess
I think it's fine. He might as well level a creature instead of not level a creature.
Oh my goodness, the Tangled is just amazing here.
Oh man,
we've been kind of bad mouthing Tangled here, and then he's like, "Remember why I'm running Tangled? This is why I'm running Tangled."
And I mean, yeah, but it doesn't even matter, to be honest. He could have not drawn Tangled this turn. I think the game is wrapped up anyways.
I think the Tangled though finishes it, like it's just the death knell.
Well, sure. I'm just saying it could have been a level 1, any card he wanted, and it would have been done the same thing, effectively.
Yeah, perhaps. Alright, so he's gonna... I mean, is he even gonna Spite Mage? What else is he gonna do, I guess? Alright, he's gonna level an under-leveled Spite Mage. Smart. Doesn't have to worry about the Brood Queen 2 because, well, it's not gonna kill anything anyway, so he might as well kill the stuff doing the damage. He's gonna take...
Seems like he's looking for the comeback here. He hovered on the concede button, but he's chosen to play on.
The roar kills him. Double roar for the win. And GottabeKD on the back of the Tangle.
Taking it back. Yeah, it was not the Tangle that had anything to do with that.
On the back of the Tangle, no less.
On the back of 9 Brood Queens. No, that's not true. But that was a decent chunk of Brood Queens.
Yeah, no, it really was.
And they were definitely, defining.
He definitely hit some Brood Queens. It's called Tangle. Someone said this isn't Rapunzel.
Hey man, that's basically my favorite Disney movie.
When you have a daughter, if there's a choice between Tangle and Tangled, it will always be.
It will always be Tangled.
So that card will always be Tangled, and in fact, the picture is a picture of Rapunzel using her hair to bring down a wyvern.
I would be, I think, fairly accurate in saying that the hosts of this show have seen Tangled a decent chunk of times.
Oh my god. Yes, I've seen it many times. I gotta say, if the picture if they did an alt art that was Rapunzel bringing down a wyvern with her hair, my daughter would be like, Daddy, you are buying 27 of that alt art.
I would buy it. I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah.
My daughter would be able to let them hire a programmer all on their own. It'd be like one more programmer on the back of me buying Tangleds for my daughter.
Yep.
Alright, so I think I Dire Hound here to reduce the Predator, get a Dire Hound in the graveyard for the Pact. I'm kind of surprised that he Lotus there. That makes very little sense to me. Do you have an indication of why he did that?
He Lotused in front of... I'd have to see the rest of his hand. I was tabbed off.
I mean, I just don't understand even playing Lotus in this matchup. If you're playing Pact, why are you playing Lotus when you don't need to?
Yeah.
I don't get that play. I'm sure he had a really good reason.
More want to avoid in this. Like, when in matches where you need it, like say you need to get to 5 lanes, sure.
Right.
But if your plan is targeted packs,
that's another weird play. See, what I would have done there is gone Brood Queen 5, put the Offspring in 1. The poison starts really hurting that Predator anyway, and then Skill Shrieked. Because if he does it this route, if he had gotten unlucky, Skill Shriek goes in 1, he can't actually poison the dragon. I think that was an error, actually.
Okay, but also, you didn't exactly beat GottabeKD, right? So, what do you know?
So I am not allowed to evaluate his play since he beat me?
Pretty much.
Fair enough. I can go with that.
Your opinion is worth nothing to me.
A fair approach. Alright, so yeah, Deathweaver plus Pact seems pretty good here. Get the Pacts leveled. A lot of good stuff in the graveyard other than his...
Other than those Lotuses that I don't think should be there, yeah.
Inexplicably put there. He's made 2 plays this game that I really do not agree with, which is kind of interesting. I love the Maiden. Alright, that seems reasonable.
He is hemorrhaging life here pretty bad, though.
Zwaxor?
Like, it's not... Yeah, it's not been a good player level 1 in that sense for him.
Yeah, and player level 2...
He's got a bunch of good cards leveled, but he needs to not take that much damage in player level 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is really bad for him.
That's a terrible 2.1.
He battles, he puts another Brood Queen down. I mean, gotta be... I really think Gottabe's made some bad play so far, and it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like,
do you think it's possible to lose a game where you 2.1 double Brood Queens?
I don't think so. He's like, hey, Tiny, remember when you said I made some bad plays? I beat him at 92 health.
Eat it, Tiny.
Shut up. Yeah. It's hard to say someone's making bad plays when they're absolutely crushing somebody. All right. But he does, or not. So GottabeKD has a window to really, really take over this game. All right, that looks pretty good. Either way, he's going to get something out of
Steel
it.
Streak comes down.
And then he kills the other one.
Post
I like post-combat. Might as well get all the damage.
You want to trade
you
the
can.
damage, you know.
Yep.
Definitely want to push the damage rather than mitigate here.
Totally agree. All right. There we go. 3 guys on board. Probably going to fill the rest of the lanes. I mean, this is a really tough spot for Zwaxor.
I mean, that was a good comeback turn for him. He finally got some big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to help.
Sure, it's going to be enough.
He's down to 40, which is
It
rough.
does
because-
tempt him into playing a Lotus, which is really good. Because he's just
Sure,
putting
yep.
more junk in the graveyard.
At the same time, it might be right, though. He just
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to get that lane filled and attacking. So
I agree. I mean, here it might be the right play. Maybe even post-combat if you're going to do it, because you're not going to kill the Ebon Skull.
I like the Varnus pack first.
Yeah, I agree. So I think,
And now he's
yeah,
probably going to Lotus. Now he's going to
Lotus
Lotus.
and 5, and oh,
Yeah, there
got
we
it.
go. He got the full lane fill.
Yep, so he basically went from kind of struggling to, remember when I was kind of struggling? I am not.
I got these things. They're filling the lanes.
All right.
Another solid hand from Zwaxor, though. Take
Yep.
those guys out.
Doom
Level
Rider.
one threats.
Doom Rider's going to grow multiple times.
But down to 24 life
Yeah.
now.
If he
After
was
the
at
attack.
50 life, I'd say,
I'd say he'd be in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
He's actually going to take 16.
Got a
He has to
shot.
take half his remaining life.
I think as it is, he's kind of boned here.
There's
The nice
just no
thing is-
way he stabilizes this low.
Dire Hound does kill Predator. Okay, yep, and he got to reduce the Doom Rider. So post-combat, he's going to stick. Is he putting Deathweaver in front of it to...
No. Why would you block?
Yeah,
Why would
exactly.
you block?
I
What are you
was
talking
wondering
about,
why
tiny
he was
guy?
waiting, but yeah, that would
Tiny
make
guys,
sense.
the man who doesn't want to lose HP.
I'm not saying I would have. I'm saying I didn't understand. what he was
Resource?
doing.
No, I must win at 100.
Yeah, I do like to win at 100, though. I will agree.
Well, sure. I mean, who doesn't,
doesn't?
right? But
Let's see. He's in a really tough bind here. Although when he battles, the Doom Rider will come over and finish him off, so he can hit the Deathweaver now. That was a really weird play. Because if he had just let the Predator die, the Doom Rider would have grown. That Deathweaver would have been smaller. But maybe he just feels like I gotta
I
have.
think you'd rather
guys
have the
that
guy
win.
on the board because he
Yeah.
can't fill 4 lanes next turn.
Oh my goodness! So he could go Pact 2, 3, Lotus in 4. I don't know. GottabeKD has a lot of choices here of how he can just completely.
We're near
take
the
over this
end
game.
now.
Yep, I like that as well. Poison the Doom
Yeah.
Rider.
Get the poison down. Fill all the lanes.
So many choices.
7 life. Staring down.
Yeah, I don't think Zwaxor. Oh, and Zwaxor did not have. Zwaxor needed just a monster hand, and instead he got a decent hand. I mean, an Ebon
It's a
Skull 3 is
decent hand.
great.
It's not bad, but
It's not a monster.
not going to cut it.
No, he's got to kill that Deathweaver.
I mean, he's got a block in 5, and then there's no way that he.
Yeah. Oh, well, how is he gonna do it? Does he just lose here? Actually,
He loses. He can't handle 1 and 2. He only has
Yeah.
1 play.
no.
Or
no,
rather, you're
remember,
right. The Doom Rider
Rider's
moves
moving.
over. Yeah, he moves, so he's technically alive.
Yep, he lives another day to die to Varnus Pact. Is he gonna go Varnus Pact Nether Shriek on the 8-3? That'd be kind of funny.
Okay, in fairness, chat, poison is still bad. Brood Fang is awesome.
What is still bad?
Oh, you saying remember when poison was bad? I'm saying poison's still bad. Brood Fang is awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's.
There's a difference.
You're getting 2 guys. That's the crazy part. All right. Oh, that was kind of bad for poor Zwaxor. So
He
put
can
an egg
block
down.
with the egg, though.
Yeah, you can
so
block
that's a
in
plus.
1 and stall. That's what I love about the egg. It's really versatile. Okay, yep.
I like it. Put it down. Move over.
Move the
Kill the
dragon
skill tree.
over. Play
Yep.
Spite Mage and live to see another day.
And boom, still alive.
Sort of.
He's been at 7 for a long time here.
Yep, he's hanging on until his opponent goes double 3 Brood Queen. Fill all the lanes, kill everything. Sayonara. Yeah, this was a really big draw for him.
He's even got a Frostbang down. If he can ever get control... No, there goes control of that board.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing double Brood Queen. Like, double Brood Queen just wins generally.
Yeah, there's
It doesn't
nothing
matter
else.
what
That's it.
he plays now. Well, it doesn't matter what Zwaxor plays. Gotta just kills it. So
The
this
only
game
play
is-
here is the gear button.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gears it up. Gottabe's up. I think I said Gottabe was going to win 3-0. I'm looking kind of foolish in my prediction because he gave up
Yeah,
a game.
you really are. Keep up the game in spectacular fashion, too. Really got stomped in that first one.
Yeah. All right. As long as Gottabe doesn't draw. So this is basically what I found with the NT decks. If the Brood Queen doesn't draw, you win. If they draw well, then you still lose because Brood Queen's insane.
Remember when you came to me and said, hey, Jake, I have this new NT deck that's really good. Beats Brood Queen. Play me.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah, I crushed lots of Brood Queen decks with it.
Yeah? How'd that
And
go
then-
for you?
And then it didn't work that well when a good player was playing Brood Queen.
Yeah.
It's one of the problems. I mean, this is a lesson for everybody out there. It's really hard to test decks against Brood Queen because you really need a good Brood Queen player to be able to pilot the deck well. Because it's easy to pilot it at a medium rate, but it's more difficult to pilot at a really high level. All right, so he just goes Deathweaver Brood Queen and then laughs, right? Like, I can't see
Yes.
another play here.
If he should probably, physically laugh.
Like this, it's
Like an
such a
evil
good
cackle
start.
cackle.
It's the start he wants, right? So like you put the offspring in front of the maiden so that it can't move, kill the offspring, and you are just in such great shape already right out of the gate. I mean, imagine you have to Spite Mage, and I don't know, do you Dragon here?
Yeah, you dragon.
Yeah, I think
What do you mean,
have
well,
to.
you don't know you dragon. The rest of the hand's garbage.
Well, obviously Dragon. Oh, I think I tangle the Dragon. Oh, no. Never mind. You go.
What are you
Brood Queen
talking
1-5.
about? What are you talking?
Skill Shriek the Dragon, and then laugh again all the way to the bank as you've just completely won the game in.
I actually
1.2.
think Brood Queen might just be the better play. I
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
it is. It's Brood Queen, then Skill Shriek.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, good. Long we're on the same page there.
I think this is it. I think he wins here.
Oh, this is a crazy start.
Yeah.
What do you do against this?
I absolutely can't see Zwaxor coming back from this. This is what makes Brood Queen so good. On 1.2, we have declared a winner. So we'll see. See if you can do crazy stuff.
Come on, Zwaxor, you got this, man.
We're all rooting for you.
I'll back NT to my dying day, so,
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, alright, so he's going to Pact, and then I'm guessing Dire Hound.
It was an easier position when NT was just so clearly the best deck that there
Yeah.
was no contesting.
Days are gone.
that.
Fortunately.
I think they should unnerf Shapers and see what happens.
Wow. That would be interesting. I'm actually fine. Like, I know a lot of people don't like erratas. I love just like, let's just change this card and stuff is boring and see what happens. Like,
Well, I
that'd
mean,
be fun.
they were nerfed in a completely different game because the power level has gone up on other cards.
Mhm.
Brood Queen can kill a Shaper on level. You know what I mean?
Are
Like,
you
that deck
using-
has ways to...
Okay. See, I was tempted to use the Brood Fang to kill him to wipe out that Ebon Skull, but I guess he's winning by enough that he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, he just wants to
Yeah.
let it
And
expire.
then
He's going to take the game and
this
just
is
let
such
it
a
expire.
terrible spot for him. Predator can't kill anything. Doom Rider can't kill anything. This is awful. I mean, what do you do? Do you put Doom Rider in 5 and then grow it slightly? Like, there isn't really a great play here. Yeah, that's what he's decided to do.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to take damage for now and try and
And
get a
his
handle on the
opponent-
board.
I mean, his opponent has a million plays here that he could make. He could go any card, Skill Shriek kills him. Doomrider's a pain. He can play a Brood Queen. I mean, I think you just go Brood Queen, pop, roar, and I just don't see how Zwaxor comes back from that. He would need a really amazing level 2. Like,
I think
not just
yeah,
2.1.
Yeah, you Brood Queen, roar, and then back to the evil cackling bit.
Yeah. There we go. That's
I think if you
just-
play Brood Queen and you
Oh my
stream, you probably need to have like an evil cackle soundtrack you can play.
Oh, I actually came up with sound effects for cards that I would like to start doing. So, like, when Brood Queen comes in, I'd like to say, like, my reign will be lengthy. Stuff like that.
Okay, do it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love that crap.
And I had, for Grove Matriarch.
I do think maybe you've been playing a little bit too much Hearthstone.
This is what Soulforge needs. Some crazy things. Like, we can make our own things and play them. You know, we don't have to...
I'm
board the
on. I'm
design.
on board with it. To be honest, I love the sound bites in
They
Hearthstone.
were going to be ridiculous, and I'd be bored of them, and then I still like them.
Yeah, I know. They grow on you.
Are you going to double Brood Queen here? I mean, if you could find a way to play that Roar 3, I mean that Roar 2, that's pretty dominant. Like, if you could go... I don't think you can make Brood Queen safe, though, because of the dragon. Okay, so he just is going that way and not double Brood Queen. I think I would have double Brood Queen there. Because if his opponent finds a Spite Mage and handles that Brood Queen, he's probably still dead. Zwaxor's probably still dead, but it gives him
He's too
an
low in
out.
life.
Whereas
He
if you
doesn't
double
even-
Brood Queens, there's no out. He's just
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm on board with the double Brood Queen, for sure. But there is no out.
Yeah.
His life is too low.
Yeah, I agree. All right, is he gonna
Like,
tangle?
he
just
handled
to-
most of the board. He's still taking half his life this
He's gonna
turn.
pack 2, see what he gets, and maybe tangled. Just he's gonna Rapunzel him.
Yep. Bring it on to Disney.
So he finally completely whiffed, and you know what? It doesn't matter, because if he tangles that guy, there's nothing. Or maybe he shards him even. Can he shard for the win? No, not quite.
No, you need
almost
that.
been the win.
Do you do math, sir?
And so since
You math?
NT can't populate lots of lanes, that's game.
You just can't keep up.
Nope.
He won game 1 rather handily
Sort of populated. there.
because he was able to take control of the game, throw a big predator, and keep it on the board
Jake,
for
it's
multiple
not
turns.
over yet. It's actually not over. He played 2 barbarians and survived.
Okay, sure, but it's over next turn.
Hey.
Like,
He whiffed.
okay, all right, let's see it.
Gotta be whiffed.
I want Zwaxor to win here more than anything.
More than
So
life
you're gonna
itself.
show me it happened. More than life itself. That's right.
Okay. I think I would have played a second creature there in the Death Weaver. Because he can block a creature.
Okay, but then he can't block the other 2 next turn.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
guess it
that, on
keeps,
that same turn.
it keeps him alive. I think the better play there was to play the second creature. Alright, so then he's going to have to combat first and then put whatever in front of him.
And then block, yeah.
Alright.
He's living. Come on, Zwaxor.
So
Hang on
now
for another full player
Gottabe
level up
wins
6.
with the double drop. Bam. That's it. He can't combat the Brood Queen plus Etherphage, I don't think. Brood Queen is so good. Poor Zwaxor. I mean, his deck looks good. It looks like a pretty good answer. I don't even think Tangle is needed. I think just drawing reasonably with Brood Queen means you win in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't think I would have Tangled in those slots.
Yep, I think I would probably remove them. It depends on what you think you're seeing. Like he was saying, it wasn't
If
just for
you
this
play, if you're
matchup.
gonna play against NT all day, then I guess you might as well have a couple Tangleds in, right? But
Yeah. It might be more for the constructed queue right now. People are sort of bored of just playing Brood Queen all day, and I have seen a lot of stuff in there, so Tangled might be decent in that regard. And here we go. Gotta be rolling, rolling, rolling. It looked a little dicey at first, but in the end, 3-1, proving
3-1.
Tiny Grimes is always right.
Proving Tiny Grimes did not get it right.
All right, GottabeKD, you are now 1/8 of a world champion and the reigning the Forge champion. Which are you prouder of?
I am definitely more proud to be a Forge champion, that's for sure.
That is the right answer.
Good call, sir.
So did that go pretty much how you expected it would go?
Yeah. I figured if I could, like the problem with decks in the meta right now is no one is filling lanes better than BQ, and no one is trying to reduce that. So you don't see a lot of epidemics in that. And like most decks only play 2 nowadays, whereas that used to be a staple 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured as long as I filled the lanes against Wax, and then sit back on my Brood Queens and my Tangles, I'd be fine.
Yeah, it was interesting because that first game, you completely whiffed pretty much on Brood Queens. Then you totally whiffed on them pretty much all level 2. And it was like, oh no, Zwaxor's got the counter. He's going to crush him. And then you're like, no, wait. Watch what happens when I actually draw cards.
I didn't think any game my draws were exceptionally good. Like they were just typical BQ draws. But game 1, I don't like to complain about variance, but I thought it was very surprising that my first 10 cards, I didn't see a level 2, which just put me so far behind.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
I don't
rough
like to complain about variance as well.
You love to complain about variance.
No, you're thinking of the wrong person. There's
Oh,
another
yeah,
guy
that
with a
other-
silver hat.
I've seen that guy. Big Grimes, right? Big Grimes.
Yeah, Big Grimes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a lot more.
So it was it was pretty standard. I was watching the chat, and I know a lot of people were hating on Tangle, but if you saw when I grabbed my deck, this is my NU Brood Queen with Pack deck. I only have 2 lists. One plays Pack, one doesn't, and it all depends on if I think people are hating on Brood Queen, and then you need to play Pact, and if they're not hating on Brood Queen, you can play the more reliable just build.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So, are you playing in the Forge Watch Invitational? I don't remember if you were around long enough to have qualified for it.
I unfortunately I didn't play in any qualifiers, but the guys at the Forge Watch were really good enough to give me an invite. So I have booked off that time and gonna make sure I'm there because that was nice of them to invite me.
Cool. So I'm gonna ask you right now, and you can feel free to not answer. Are you running this list?
I mean, I think if nothing changes drastically in the meta, like I know, so Killian was the card of the day today. I'm not sure if that's going to change things around because I've always been blessed because like I've only played in 2 tournaments. In the first one I had access to Iron Mines, and the second one I had access to as many Grimgaunt Doomraurs as I could get my hands on. So, if nothing changes, I think Brood Queen is just it's like it in as far as comparing to Magic, it's the Golgari deck. It's very rockish. It can handle a lot of different threats, and I really like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I compare it to Growbots, a Soulforge deck, where it was like every card you draw is really good. It fills the board. You just rarely have a hand where you have nothing you can do. Right,
yeah, and like I've been in talks with people about like counters for this deck, but like the only thing I consistently lose to in the queues is zombies. Like I know a bunch of the other guys don't lose to zombies, but I can't beat the nerfed Zimus 3 even. So, but I don't think zombies beats anything else. So that's not a good counter in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree. Zombies doesn't seem like it's great right now. I'd say the one deck that beats me with this is Invoker decks, but not steadily. You know, it's one of those things where when they nut draw, you're just kind of like, well, that happened.
Yeah, no, I can totally agree with that. I have lost to a couple AT Gox lists that if they draw really well and you don't draw at least average, you're definitely behind.
Yep, that's interesting.
But yeah, no, the deck is good, and hopefully I displayed that Nether Shriek isn't the luckiest card. You try and put yourself in positions where Shriek is just the best removal spell in the game. So
yeah, I agree. Nether Shriek can be really, really strong. Especially, I feel like level 1, it's a little bit harder to pull off. But as you move on, if you get the Varnus Pact level, you're getting a pretty strong play in Pact, and then you're getting a pretty strong play in Nether Shriek as well.
Yeah, like even like just getting that body, and like I think there was one game where I played him, didn't hit anything. He's a 6/6, and he hits Wax like 3 turns in a row with a pumped Stygian Lotus, and taking 12 a turn for 3 straight turns while he deals with my real threats, I don't know. It was really difficult for him, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and
Oh,
look
no
forward
problem.
to playing you again. Hopefully I get to play you in the tournament because I need my vengeance.
Yeah, you do. You need to earn some of that respect back.
And is Zwaxor out of A1 now since you beat him so consistently?
Oh, I
in
don't
major
think so.
events?
He's I mean, A1 has a ton of great members. Like that big shout out. If I could take a second to promote my team here,
Yeah, go for
they're honestly, all of them are great guys. They work really hard. Like, I'm not a deck designer by any means, but these guys help bring me to the ballpark, and then I try and play the game. That's it. So they're a big help. And Zwaxor is, like, I mean, he's the king of NT. He, like, I don't know, him, Stout, everybody's really great on A1.
So basically, they're like your cab drivers, and you're the royalty who comes into town. I got it. It's cool.
Yeah, that's it. It's real driving Miss Daisy.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And to the rest of you, stay tuned next week for another episode of The Forge, where 2 enter, 1 leaves champion, and 1 leaves beaten.